A new series of the discussion programme Voices begins next week, and as a herald tonight, we're showing an edition first broadcast in 1983, in which Professor George Steiner put forward the argument that censorship produces greater literature than freedom. Voices is next tonight.
When you put your nest egg in Bradford and Bingley's hands, you get more than simply happy returns. Because Maximizer gives you the choice. Easy access or bonuses, capital growth or regular income, big amounts or small. Our experts will help you decide. Then we'll get on with the thing we do best.
Playing the market? Winning, I trust?
Maximizer from Bradford and Bingley, where all our plans are built around yours.
Has many enemies. But thanks to ICI, the wood protection range from Dulux keeps the enemy without out, which leaves your wood looking good longer. Dulux Natural Wood Care. It's a rotten world without it.
Lou Tennant's the name. I was getting nowhere on Candy's case. The chips were down, the place was battered. A French fry let something slip. I ordered a Tennant's Pilsner. The cool taste was heavens above. Then it clicked. It was an open and shut case. I was a star. I had a choice. Drink my Tennant's Pilsner or head for... It was close, but not that close. Tennant's Pilsner. It's good, but not that good.
Choose its own oil. It couldn't choose a better oil than Duckham's Hypergrade. Duckham's Hypergrade, the engine's choice.
Home. The first thing I'm going to have is something decent to eat. I really miss Sunday lunch. Roast beef, roast potatoes, peas, Yorkshire pudding.
The roast beef platter is one of the Menu Master complete meals from Birdseye, for people who know what they like.
Terrific. You can't get that in Corfu.
Menu Master, the menu creator for the way you live today.
Nightworks, a new late-night slot for serious music, opens next Tuesday with an irreverent and witty performance of Gershwin's Concerto in F for piano and orchestra. And Nightworks continues at 5 to 1 with Schoenberg's Moses and Aaron. Another chance to see Jean-Marie Straub's stark film of Schoenberg's complex and demanding music. A new late-night showcase for serious music, Nightworks, next Tuesday on Channel 4.
for Voices from 1983, when Professor George Steiner, poet Joseph Brodsky and writer Mary McCarthy got together with Chairman Al Alvarez to flex their intellectual muscles on the subject of art, repression and freedom.
Good evening. The writers of the West take for granted certain basic freedoms. Above all, to say what they like, how they like. They assume that once those essentials of creative liberty are lost, there's little chance of freshness or innovation or even artistic truth. Yet gradually, God knows very gradually in England, we're coming to realize that work is being done in repressive societies, in Soviet Russia and Eastern Europe, in South America and South Africa, which is at least as powerful and new as anything that most of the poets and novelists in the West can manage. Now, does this say something about the perverse nature of creativity or about its irrepressibility? Or does it imply that those precarious liberal values we set so much store on are not always as vital as we imagine? George Steiner has strong views on this subject, and with him to argue the question are two distinguished writers. The poet Joseph Brodsky, who was exiled from Russia 10 years ago and now lives in New York, and the American novelist and essayist Mary McCarthy. George Steiner.
Serious in literature try to say no to human stupidity and cruelty and hypocrisy. And the yes which great art and literature say to life, even out of darkness, is by any measure a utopian, a revolutionary yes. It presses upon our imagination, upon our understanding, an active hope, an active dream of change. This is why serious art and literature have been the concern of the state from the start of recorded history and have often been manipulated by the state. If we think for a moment, Egypt, ancient Sumer, the Oriental empires, there was only official art. And Plato in the Republic declares that to change the modes of music is to touch at the foundations of the state itself. Now, in Russian history, from Byzantium to the Tsars, from the Tsars to the totalitarian present, censorship has been the indivisible shadow on all literature. The development of poetry, of prose in Russian, is virtually a history of unbroken persecution, suppression, exile, and murder. You can't think of a great Russian writer, of a major Russian figure, Pushkin, Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Turgenev, or Pasternak, or Solzhenitsyn, who has not, in his work or in his personal life, suffered harassment, exile, or worse. And since the early 1920s, the record is one of unparalleled efficiency of bestiality. Now, there are other bureaucracies of falsification and persecution. They operate today not only in the Soviet satellites throughout Eastern Europe, but as we know in South Africa, in the junta fiefs which now brutalize so much of Latin America. The artist, the writer, he is dealt with as if he were the most dangerous of opponents. Now, in the free world, in what we call the free world by contrast,